Hiya, I'm Aurora Berry, and I wanted to work on a little video to take a break from that. Anyway, welcome to a completely useless guide to Ironeye. The purpose of this video is to explain how Ironeye works, basically. I'm going to talk about everything from his basic moveset, what relics to look for, and then I'm going to go through and do a run to show off some good routing and strategies just to make your Ironeye run the best it can be. I have about 80 hours in Night Rain so far, and about 70 of those is from Ironeye, so I just want to share most of the knowledge I've learned. So let's first talk about Ironeye's moveset. Like most characters, Ironeye has his unique moveset with his special weapon, that being bows. With his standard attack, he has a combo string of 4 arrows, each doing moderate damage. After the 4th shot, he will slow down before being able to shoot again, basically just restarting the combo chain. For his heavy attack, he crouches down a small bit and then shoots out 3 arrows. The arrows never shoot out in a specific way. Depending on the ground level the arrows shoot out in is either like a diagonal line, or they'll sometimes shoot out evenly. It's very weird. Either way, each individual arrow shot does less damage than the normal attack, but when all 3 hit, the damage is higher. Generally, the normal attack is the one you should be using. However, that doesn't mean the heavy attack is useless. It is amazing when you're under or next to a boss, and for breaking their stance, breaking a weak point, or applying status effects like poison, bleed, or frostbite. Lastly, for Ironeye's basic moves, let's talk about the manual aiming. Like in the previous installments, we can aim the bow manually by pressing L1. This brings up a little reticle. In this mode, you don't have a moveset like you normally would. Instead, you can just keep shooting arrows until you run out of stamina. However, this also means you can't use heavy attacks, so it's a little bit of a trade-off. With the basic stuff done with, let's go over and talk about the specials. Eagle Eye, Marking, and the Big Bow. First is Eagle Eye, which is your passive skill, and it's always active. Basically, all it does is it increases your item discovery, so it's pretty handy. The Marking skill is the real gem of Ironeye. You dash forward with your dagger, marking the enemies in your path. When an enemy is marked, they take 10% more damage from all sources, so your teammates will also benefit from this. When the weak point is active, if enough damage is done in the time before the weak point closes, it will break, dealing a large chunk of damage and a small stagger. You can tell how close the weak point is to breaking by looking at the color, starting at a light pink and then progressing into a dark red. The weak point will last for about 15 seconds before going away. You can tell it's about to fade by the weak point flashing back to light pink. If you're not sure that you're going to be able to break the weak point in time, you can simply reapply the mark. This resets the timer, but keeps your progress, letting you easily break it in time. That's the marking aspect of the skill, but there's much more that you can use it for. First, it has iframes, letting you use it as a better dodge. It's amazing to dodge through large attacks like Dragon's Breath or jumping slams. It can also be used mid-air, letting you position yourself better, or making a gap where you'd fall otherwise. Lastly, we have Single Shot, which is Ironeye's ult. You pull out a large bow and draw the arrow back. During this, you can charge it, which lets you aim it a bit more, and you gain iframe, so using it during a large AoE attack can let you bypass getting hit. When fired, the arrow shoots through the enemy, bypassing their defense. Shortly after, a large gust of wind follows, hitting everything in the area. This bypasses walls, letting you clear enemies that aren't even around you. With his moveset out of the way, let's move right along to Ironeye's relics. So let's start with the different chalices you can unlock. First is Ironeye's Urn. This is the basic chalice that Ironeye starts with, and it contains a yellow slot and 2 cyan slots. Next we have Ironeye's Goblet, which you can get this one by purchasing it from the Small Jar Bazaar for 1,200 merc, and it contains 1 red, 1 blue, and 1 yellow slot. Next is Ironeye's Chalice. You can get this from doing Ironeye's Remembrance, which I'll discuss a little bit later on. This one contains 1 red, 1 cyan, and 1 white slot. White slots let you put any relic you want in, which makes this chalice extremely valuable. Next is the soot-covered Ironeye urn. To get this one, you need to be a Everdark boss and buy it for 4 sovereign sigils. This one has 1 blue and 2 yellow. This is extremely good if you want to make use of Ironeye's remembrance relics. Next is the sealed Ironeye urn, which can be bought with the sovereign sigils like the former. This one has 2 cyan and 1 yellow. Lastly are the non-character specific grails, which you can unlock in the Small Jar Bazaar as you progress through the game. The Erd Tree Grail has 3 yellow slots, the Spirit Shelter Grail has 3 cyan slots, and the Giant's Cradle has 3 blue. Now for the actual relics to look out for. As a quick disclaimer, I'm using a testing character to show off these relics. I'll be showing off the ones you probably won't see for a long time, as they're obviously designed just for this video. So, again, you probably won't have relics that are exactly like this, but just some stuff to look out for. I will also only be discussing relics that are directly good for Ironeye. Normal relics that are good on all characters, for example, attack up with successive attacks, won't be shown, but just know that those are still good, and you should still be using them if you have it. Character skill cooldown is especially good for Ironeye. It allows you to not only apply weak spots more often, but it also lets you dodge way more, which is obviously very useful. Art Charge activation adds poison is pretty much what it says. Whenever you use your ult, it applies poison to the boss, which is just like free damage, so that one's also really good. Boosting thrusting counterattacks after using art is okay. Ironeye's arrows are counted as thrusting attacks, so whenever you shoot a boss during its attack, it does more damage, and this relic too boosts it a little bit, but only after using your art, so it's not amazing. Improved attack power with 3 bows equipped is just free damage, as bows are incredibly easy to find. You start with 1 bow, and just by rushing to a campsite, you can loot a bow rack for 2 more. Plus 1 additional skill use is just broken. Seriously, just find a relic with it on it and work around it. It's amazing. I've glazed his skill enough, so I won't go into detail on why it's good, but just trust me, it's amazing. Extends duration of weak point is pretty self-explanatory. It's not a huge boost, but it's still a couple seconds more of damage and more time to get that sweet stagger, so it is pretty good. But also, if you just have 1 plus additional skill use, you can just keep applying it, so, you know, whatever. And lastly, basic bow upgrades work wonders, like improved attack power and HP and FP regen. And finally, like all characters, Ironeye has a few relics that are gathered from his remembrance quests. These are very good when you don't have many other relics to use, and are worth getting. First is the Cracked Wax Seal, which extends the duration of weak points and gives you runes on critical hits. Then there's the Edge of Order, which boosts thrusting counterattacks after your ult, improves bow attack power, and gives your starting bow holy damage, which that one is actually really good. I won't go through a whole remembrance guide, this video is mainly just for gameplay and whatnot, but there's plenty of guides that are out there, and if you really want me to make you one, let me know, and I will, I guess. I don't know. Well, finally, with all that covered, I'm going to do a normal run and talk over it as I go. Here are the relics I'll be using, so without further ado, let's jump into it. So, to start off, I go ahead and just see my surroundings. I got very lucky and get spawned right next to a church and an Everjail, so as soon as I land, I go ahead and open it up and get the Spear Crucible, which actually isn't all that bad. When playing Ironeye, you want to look out for Crystallions, Beastmen, or Beastly Brigade, and those are all the ones that Ironeye struggles with, at least at the very beginning. For the Crucible, I just walk backwards, shooting arrows into her, and using marks to dodge whenever she gets close. I did die here, a real deer in headlight situation, but I respawned and finish her off for around 50k runes for level 5 right away. Heading for the church, we see the field boss is a Deathrite bird, so we are definitely not fighting that. But right outside the church, we can also grab a dew talisman from the scarab outside. While playing, you want to look for easy field bosses on the way to other areas, stuff like Miranda Blossom, Misbegotten, Elder Lion, Erdtree Avatar, etc, etc. Easy bosses that you can fight on day 1 and beat for easy runes. I find a Libra Shrine and take the Deal for Eventual Greatness. Usually if you find him, take the More Runes option if you have it, because it's like the best thing in this game to get. Here at the 4-minute mark, I've already gotten my second church, and I can start heading to the castle. Not before obliterating a family of 4. At the castle, you usually want to check 2 things, the boss underneath and what enemy spawns you get. Unfortunately, I had the Bell-Bearing Hunter, and I did get lucky with the Crucible Knights. But for now, I just keep going around killing field bosses like this Grafted Scion, which I get a heart bow from, and I hit level 7. And here once again, I just check for easy field bosses, and I get lucky with a Misbegotten, which I just obliterate. As the sun starts to set, I head for a lightning camp to try and get a lightning bow, because I'm fighting the Dark Drift Knight, and he's weak to lightning. And I somehow die. As soon as I get back and get my reward, I got jack shit. So, awesome! Go girl, give us nothing! But as the final circle comes to a close, I can grab my last church on day 1, which is awesome, and I can fight another lightning camp for, hopefully, a lightning bow. An awesome game. I love it. I love not getting the bow I need. Thanks! Regardless of my terrible luck when it comes to bows, I actually get a lucky circle, as it closes right next to another field boss, and that happens to be the deer, which is like, I don't mind fighting it. It's not like a deathray bird, so, I'm fine with it. Either way, killing it gets me to level 9, which is a great start to the Night 1 boss. The pre-boss wave gave me rats, which means it's Gaping Dragon, which is honestly like the easiest Night 1 boss. I'm certain they didn't even change his AI, so you can just sit behind him until he dies. As soon as day 2 starts, I head for the nearby chapel to check for a stone sword key, and luckily I get one. And then for shits and giggles, I kill the ghost below. Heading back where we were when we fought the deer, I open the Everjail up and I get Skinny. Skinny is incredibly easy. It wasn't even a fight. It felt wrong. At this point, I still didn't have a great bow, so I went to a nearby fire camp and checked out the bow racks to see if I could pick up anything good, and I didn't, because of course. So, since I didn't have a bow good enough for Night 3, I just went ahead into the mines for a smithing stone 2. Memorizing the mines is a very easy way to get a smithing stone 2 if you're having some bad luck with weapons. I did get trapped in the storm, but it doesn't do much initially, so you're fine. Fucking fireworks. It's July 5th! Fuck off! Whatever, I'm not dealing with it. You're gonna have to just hear him. If you hear him, you hear him. Once the first circle closed, I did something kind of risky. I went back inside to the nearby village to buy a Winding Grace, as well as upgrade my weapon to a +2. And for the rest of the night, I just killed the Crucible Knights all over the castle, as well as getting the second Winding Grace from the normal merchant outside the wall. Surely the rest of the Crucible Knights will be easy. Huh. Well, I can just go back and get my soul. Huh. I was really stressing on time here. I lost like 2 levels doing that, and was getting pretty worried. I was on a time limit and really wanted some runes, so hey, an easy field boss, surely I can do it and... Huh. Whatever, I'll just do it in the rain, no big deal. Huh. Well, I got Nameless King for the Night 2 boss, and I just made him my bitch, and afterwards I went all the way back and got my runes. Can't say I'm not determined. And that's pretty much the run. You can buy another Winding Grace here, but all that's left is the boss, and I'm not going to talk about him because that's not really the purpose of this video. Plus, I played like shit because the edible I took hit as soon as I started. So, you know. But I hope this guide served to help some new Ironeye players out. I haven't written a guide in a while, so hey, but what do you know? It could be my best video. My Sekiro one is currently my best video, so maybe this will do really good too. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'm going to go back to procrastinating on my big video and play more Fear and Hunger. See ya!